Listen carefully. In this life, nothing meaningful ever comes by waiting or by wishing. If you want to touch the extraordinary, if you want to become the kind of person who shapes their own fate, you must work like hell. Hell is not just a place of torment. It is a metaphor for the burning intensity required to transform your life. It means relentless effort, not half measures or casual attempts. When the world sleeps, you must be awake, pushing your limits beyond where your mind says stop. Hard work is not a punishment, it is the path to liberation. It is the fire that purifies and shapes you. Without it, dreams remain as distant illusions, untouched by your hands. But beware, this is not about working blindly. It is about working with purpose, with total commitment. You must sacrifice comfort, laziness and distractions. This discipline is not easy and it will hurt. It will break you down so that you can be rebuilt stronger. No external motivation will sustain you when the road gets rough. You must ignite a fire from within, a deep longing so intense that failure is impossible to accept. That is the only way. Remember, the transformation that hard work brings is not just in what you achieve, but who you become. You will emerge from this process not just successful but evolved, a different being altogether. Intensity of effort is not about merely showing up or going through the motions. It is about immersing yourself fully, where every action carries the weight of your entire being and nothing is done halfway or with hesitation. When you put your heart and soul into what you do, the energy you generate moves beyond the physical. It becomes a force that shapes your reality in ways you never imagined possible. This intensity is born from a hunger, a deep craving that burns inside, pushing you forward even when the body protests and the mind wants to stop. Because it knows the prize is on the other side of pain and exhaustion. To cultivate such intensity, you must first understand what it means to be truly present in the moment, to engage with tasks so deeply that distractions lose their power and time itself seems to bend around your focus. When your effort is intense, it is like a flame that consumes everything around it, not in destruction but in transformation, where doubts and fears dissolve and only pure action remain. This is a state where passion meets discipline, where desire fuels persistence, and where ordinary effort transcends into something extraordinary. Many think they are working hard because they are busy or because they put in long hours, but intensity is a different dimension altogether. It is not measured by duration but by the quality and depth of your involvement in each moment of effort. It requires a conscious choice to throw yourself into the work with all your faculties aligned, to meet every challenge with unwavering focus, and to refuse to settle for mediocrity when greatness is within reach. The intensity of your effort is what separates those who merely dream from those who turn dreams into reality. When intensity is lacking, your work becomes fragmented, like a river losing its flow, scattered and weak, unable to carve through the toughest stone. But when you ignite this fire within, your actions become unstoppable, a torrent of power that breaks down barriers and moves mountains. The journey will demand everything you have and more, but that is the price for something truly valuable. Without intensity, even the most brilliant plan is destined to remain just an idea, untouched by the hands of perseverance. The intensity of effort also requires that you honor the present struggle, that you welcome difficulty as a companion rather than enemy, because it is only through confronting hardship with full intensity that you grow stronger and wiser. There is a sacred rhythm to this process, a dance between pushing forward and learning from every stumble, where every drop of sweat and every aching muscle carries the wisdom of progress. This intensity is not reckless abandon, but a disciplined fire, one that is controlled yet fierce, delicate yet powerful. To work with intensity is to recognize that your time and energy are your most precious resources and to guard them jealously against distraction, complacency and doubt. It demands a certain fierceness, a refusal to be pulled away by the noise of the world or the tempting ease of comfort, because only through relentless effort does the soil of your life yield the fruits you seek. Intensity pushes you to break free from the limitations you once accepted as unchangeable, revealing potentials you never thought possible. And remember, intensity is not a fleeting moment or a sudden burst. It is a sustained flame that you must nurture daily through every challenge and triumph, because only continuous intensity can weather the storms of life and carry you across the finish line. This intensity is a language of commitment, spoken through action and endurance, where your very being declares that you are willing to do whatever it takes. When you live like this, the universe begins to respond, aligning with the force of your will and amplifying your efforts beyond expectation. Ultimately, intensity of effort transforms not just the task at hand, but the very essence of who you are, forging a character that is resilient, passionate and unwavering in pursuit of truth and excellence. And it is through this transformation that you come to understand the true meaning of work itself, where every step, no matter how small, is a victory and every moment of effort becomes a testament to the power of focused, relentless intention. Relentless commitment is not a casual decision made once and forgotten, but a living force that carries you through the darkest nights and the longest days, demanding unwavering dedication even when the world offers no reward or recognition. Because it understands that true mastery is born not from moments of comfort, but from enduring every hardship without flinching. It is the steady drumbeat in your heart that refuses to stop, the voice within that whispers, no matter what, keep going, when every part of you wants to quit. And this kind of commitment does not bend with circumstances or falter with setbacks, but stands firm, like a mountain unmoved by the storms raging around. To be relentlessly committed means to anchor yourself deeply in your purpose, so that distractions and doubts become mere ripples on the surface of an ocean that remains vast and unmoved. And even when failure arrives as a cruel teacher, relentless commitment teaches you to learn, to adapt, and to rise again without losing your way. This commitment is not fueled by fleeting inspiration or external applause, but by a profound inner knowing that what you are pursuing matters so deeply that giving up is simply not an option. It is this absolute refusal to surrender that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Such commitment requires you to transcend the easy paths and choose the ones filled with struggle and resistance. Because only through persistent struggle can the seed of greatness be nurtured into full bloom. And in this process, you come to understand that commitment is not about the absence of hardship, but about meeting it with a heart that will not break, a spirit that will not waver. It is in this fierce loyalty to your cause, to your vision, that you discover the true depth of your capacity, the hidden reserves of strength that reveal themselves only when you face the edge and decide to step forward anyway. Relentless commitment demands that you show up every day, even when the results seem invisible and the rewards distant. For it is the repeated acts of devotion that build the foundation of success, brick by brick, moment by moment. It does not seek shortcuts or easy victories, but honors the slow, sometimes painful journey that transforms your very being. Each step taken with commitment is a declaration that you are invested not just in the outcome, but in the growth that the process brings, and this shift in perspective allows you to embrace challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. When commitment is genuine, it is like a fire that never extinguishes, even when the winds of doubt blow hard against it, because it is fed by a source deeper than desire or ambition. It is a sacred promise made to yourself, a covenant that you will not betray your own potential by giving in to fear or complacency. This kind of commitment becomes a lens through which you view every decision and every action, and it guides you steadily, patiently, with the knowledge that greatness cannot be rushed or forced, but must unfold with persistent care and focus. To live with relentless commitment means to accept the reality that there will be moments of exhaustion, moments when the weight of effort seems unbearable, and yet to keep moving forward, because the reward lies not just in reaching a destination, but in the transformation that occurs through steadfast perseverance. It is a journey without guarantees, where faith in yourself and in the process is the only compass. And through this faith, you build resilience, confidence, and a deep-seated belief in the power of sustained effort. Relentless commitment also teaches humility, for it requires that you recognize your limits and embrace the process of continual learning and growth, knowing that no matter how far you go, there is always more to discover, more to become. And this humility keeps you grounded even as your vision expands beyond what you once imagined possible. It is through this balance of fierce determination and open-mindedness that commitment becomes a lifelong companion, a source of strength that never abandons you. Ultimately, relentless commitment is the heartbeat of every great achievement, the quiet force that separates those who dream from those who create. Because it is not just a momentary burst of passion, but a sustained flame that fuels every step of your journey, shaping not only your destiny, but the very essence of who you are. And in this truth, you find the power to keep moving forward, no matter what the world throws. Sacrifice and discipline are the twin pillars on which all great achievements rest. For without giving up something precious and without steadfast control of one's impulses, the journey toward anything meaningful remains out of reach. Because success is never free, it demands that you surrender comforts, pleasures and distractions that dull the edge of your focus and dedication. And this surrender is not loss but a form of gaining, a deliberate trait that elevates you above the ordinary. Sacrifice is not about pain for pain's sake. It is a conscious choice to prioritize what truly matters over what merely tempts you in the moment. And discipline is the daily practice that turns this choice into habit, ensuring that your actions align with your highest intentions. To embrace sacrifice means to understand that every decision to say yes to your goal is also a decision to say no to countless other invitations, comforts and distractions. And this process demands courage because it asks you to walk a path less traveled, one that often feels lonely and demanding. Sacrifice strips away the illusions of ease and instant gratification, revealing the raw reality that greatness is forged in the fires of restraint and intentional living. Without sacrifice, your effort remains scattered, diluted by the countless small distractions that pull you away from your purpose like wind dispersing smoke. Discipline, then, is the companion that keeps sacrifice alive and meaningful. For without consistent practice and self-regulation, sacrifice loses its power and becomes mere intention. Discipline is not about rigid rules imposed from outside but an internal mastery, a commitment to structure your life so that your choices serve your vision rather than your fleeting desires. It is through discipline that you develop the ability to focus relentlessly, to show up even when motivation wanes, and to move forward when comfort calls you back to ease. In this process, sacrifice and discipline reveal their true nature, not as burdens but as gateways to freedom, because true freedom arises when you are no longer a slave to impulse or distraction but instead become the master of your own mind and actions. Sacrifice teaches you what is worth holding on to and what must be released, and discipline trains you to honor these lessons through daily practice, shaping a life that is coherent, powerful and deeply aligned with your purpose. This alignment transforms effort from a chore into a form of art, where each act of discipline becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of your destiny. Yet the path of sacrifice and discipline is not without struggle, for it demands that you confront your own weaknesses, fears and attachments, the very things that keep you comfortable but prevent growth. It asks that you rise above short-term pleasure to invest in long-term fulfillment, to choose the discomfort of growth over the ease of stagnation. This struggle is the crucible in which your character is forged, and through it, you gain resilience, patience and a deep understanding of what it means to be truly alive and engaged with your potential. Sacrifice and discipline also teach humility, for they remind you that greatness is not a product of luck or talent alone, but of daily commitment to actions that often go unseen and uncelebrated. They ground you in the reality that progress is measured not by occasional leaps, but by steady, persistent steps taken with care and intention. This humility is not weakness but strength, allowing you to embrace the process fully without becoming discouraged by the slow pace of growth or the weight of responsibility. In the harmony of sacrifice and discipline, you find a rhythm that sustains you through the inevitable ups and downs. Because discipline provides a structure and consistency, while sacrifice fuels the motivation and meaning behind every effort. Together they create a powerful current that carries you forward even when the external world offers no encouragement. And through this current, you learn to trust yourself and the process, knowing that each moment of resistance you overcome brings you closer to the life you envision. Ultimately, sacrifice and discipline transform the very essence of work and effort, turning them from burdens into expressions of love for your own potential. Because when you commit to giving up what no longer serves you and to mastering your own will, you awaken a power within that transcends obstacles and limitations. And in this awakening, you become not just a doer but a creator of your destiny, forging a path illuminated by the clarity of purpose and the strength of unwavering resolve. Inner drive is the invisible force that rises from the depths of your being, a fire that burns regardless of applause, reward or recognition, because it is born from a place far beyond the surface desires and fleeting pleasures that external motivation offers. And this fire, once kindled, becomes a compass that guides you steadily through uncertainty and hardship. External motivation is like the wind, sometimes it blows strong and pushes you forward, but it is unpredictable and fleeting, leaving you stranded when it fades. Whereas inner drive is a steady flame, fueled by profound connection to your purpose and your own sense of meaning, unwavering even when the world is silent or hostile. To rely on external motivation is to live in a state of dependence, always looking outward for validation and encouragement. And this makes your effort fragile and conditional, because the world does not owe you support or applause, and when it withdraws its attention, your energy often collapses. Inner drive, on the other hand, is an unshakable foundation that comes from understanding why you are here and what you truly seek. a clarity so deep that it cuts through doubt and distraction like a knife through fog, and it fuels your persistence in ways no external force ever. This inner drive is born not from momentary excitement, but from a steady flame of conviction, a deep-rooted commitment that anchors you, even when motivation wanes or obstacles loom large. It is the quiet voice inside that says, "This is worth it," when everything outside shouts otherwise. And it teaches you that true work and transformation come from within, from a place where no temporary praise or criticism can. To cultivate this drive, you must turn your attention inward to the wellspring of your values, your dreams, and the unique purpose that only you can fulfill. External motivation often depends on rewards and punishments, on outcomes that may or may not materialize. And this makes it a fragile fuel for sustained effort because it is tied to conditions outside your control. Inner drive is different. It is an endless source of energy that arises from the joy of creation, the hunger for growth, and the desire to express your highest potential, and it empowers you to keep going when the path grows steep. Because it is not about what you get, but about who you are becoming in the process. When you build your life on inner drive, you become resilient in the face of failure and rejection because your worth and purpose do not depend on external approval, but on an unchanging core that you cultivate through self-awareness and deliberate practice. This shift frees you from the roller coaster of highs and lows dictated by others and gives you a sense of autonomy and freedom that external motivation can never provide. It is a hard-earned sovereignty of spirit that allows you to chart your own course regardless of the storms outside. Inner drive also brings a deeper joy and fulfillment because it is aligned with your authentic self rather than superficial desires or social expectations. And this alignment creates a flow where effort feels less like a struggle and more like a dance, a harmonious expression of your being moving towards something meaningful. This joy sustains you not only in moments of success but through the trials and setbacks that test your resolve. And it reminds you that the journey itself is the reward, not merely the destination. The cultivation of inner drive requires patience, honesty, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about yourself, because it demands that you strip away the layers of conditioning and distraction to uncover what truly matters to you beneath the noise of the world. This process is not easy, but it is the only path to lasting motivation and fulfillment. Because once you find this source within, you no longer chase after approval or validation, but walk your path with quiet confidence and unwavering determination. Ultimately, inner drive transcends all external forces and becomes the source of your power and freedom, because it connects you to a purpose so deep that no failure or obstacle can extinguish it. And it teaches you that the greatest achievements and transformations arise not from what others give you, but from the unyielding fire that you kindle and nurture within yourself, a fire that burns steadily, guiding you forward through every trial, every challenge and every moment of doubt, until you become the fullest expression of your potential and the author of your own destiny. Transformation through hard work is the silent alchemy that turns effort into evolution, where the struggle and sweat do more than shape your circumstances. They reshape your very self, molding you into someone stronger, wiser and more alive than before. Because true transformation is never just about changing the outside world, but about the inner becoming that happens when you refuse to give up and choose to endure. Hard work is the furnace in which limitations are burned away, where weaknesses are confronted head-on, and where every challenge becomes a lesson in resilience, patience and growth, revealing depths within you that comfort and ease could never uncover and ease could never. This transformation is not sudden or effortless. It unfolds slowly, often imperceptibly as you commit to the daily grind, showing up even when your enthusiasm wanes, and persisting when progress seems invisible. And in these moments of persistence, when the mind wants to surrender and the body aches for rest, the true work happens, quiet, unglamorous, yet profound. Each act of hard work chips away the layers of doubt and fear, revealing a core of strength and determination that becomes the foundation of a new identity, forged in the fire of consistent effort and unyielding commitment. Hard work teaches you the value of patience, for transformation is not a product of haste, but of steady, deliberate action taken over time, where every repetition, every sacrifice, and every moment of discipline contributes to a gradual but unstoppable change. It is through this patient labor that you learn humility, recognizing that you are a work in progress, and that mastery is a journey without end. And in this acceptance, you find freedom from the frustration of expecting instant results and a deeper appreciation for the process itself. Moreover, transformation through hard work reveals the interconnectedness of body, mind and spirit, For as you push your physical limits, challenge your mental boundaries, and cultivate emotional endurance, you begin to understand that growth is holistic and true change touches every aspect of your being. This realization inspires a greater respect for the work itself, not as a means to an end, but as a sacred practice that aligns you with your highest potential and deepest purpose. Hard work becomes a form of meditation, a way to deepen your presence and connection to life itself. The process of transformation is also a journey of self-discovery, where the obstacles you face become mirrors reflecting your inner landscape, the fears that hold you back, the beliefs that limit you, and the strengths you had not yet acknowledged. Through hard work, you confront these shadows with courage, dismantling old patterns and creating new pathways that lead to greater freedom and possibility. This inner work is the true essence of transformation, for without it, external achievements remain hollow and temporary. Transformation through hard work demands sacrifice, discipline, and relentless commitment. In embracing these qualities, you develop a resilience that carries you through inevitable setbacks and failures, turning each one into an opportunity to learn and grow. This resilience is not merely endurance, but a dynamic force that propels you forward, allowing you to adapt, innovate, and rise stronger each time you are knocked down. It is the steady heartbeat of transformation, steady and unwavering, even when the journey is long and arduous. As you continue to work hard, you begin to embody a new identity, a person who does not shy away from challenges but seeks them out, understanding that growth is found in struggle and that every effort contributes to the evolution of your character and capabilities. This new self is marked by confidence born of experience, humility born of struggle, and wisdom born of perseverance. And it is through this ongoing transformation that you move closer to living a life of authenticity and fulfillment. Ultimately, transformation through hard work is the deepest form of creation, where you become both the artist and the masterpiece, crafting a life that reflects your highest aspirations and deepest truths. And through this process, you realize that the real reward is not a distant goal, but the continuous unfolding of your potential, a journey without end that invites you to embrace every challenge, every moment of effort, and every step forward as an essential part of becoming the fullest expression of yourself.